this is a bottle that we received as a baby shower present from one of our friends. Thank you. And I actually really love it. It's called the Nanobebe or Nanobebe. And it has the lines here for measurements. I will say the only design flaw in my mind is that if I was a single mother, I would not be able to use this. Why? Because if you don't push this white cap on the bottom, the lower cap, and if you don't push it on all the way, it will leak. In order to push it on all the way, you need to use all of your body weight. All of this body weight was not enough to do it. Only my husband is strong enough to put the thing on here. That's why I say, if you were a single mom, I don't know if you'd be able to use this unless you were a superwoman. So this is the little nipple-like cap. And then it comes with the regular nipple. And when you're not using that, or when you're cleaning it, or if you're gonna put it in the fridge, this is the Nanobaby lid that I just dropped on the floor. You get the point. So, I don't even know if you remember how to use this. Now that I expressed using the Nature Bond version of the Haka, I will be pouring it into a bottle. I don't think that she will want to drink it, but I can offer it to her. Because she is like breast only over here. So now, transferring it out, I turn so that the high side is here, and then I pinch like that. So I'm making a little spout. Actually, the Nanobaby is also tilted, so I'm gonna make it so the high side is the same way. And then I'm just going to pinch and put it into here. I also want to mention that do not go by what you pump or what comes out of the Haka or anything like that, or what you manually express. Please do not use that as an indicator as to how much breast milk you are producing. Why? Well, the baby inside of her mouth has these really cool muscles, and just the way that she nurses can extract milk from the breast in a way that no other manual, even electronic pump, nothing like that can extract it the same way. So if you're pumping and you're like, well, I think baby's only eating 2 ounces or 3 ounces because that's all I'm getting out, that's actually not really accurate. So don't go by that, because you'd never really know if baby's getting more than that or not. So I would definitely go by how many wet diapers you have, make sure baby's pooping okay. So this milk that I just expressed can be kept at room temperature for up to 4 hours. If I decide to refrigerate it, I can refrigerate it for up to 3 days. And if you decide to freeze it, you can freeze it for up to 6 months. Once you thaw breast milk, make sure never to freeze it again. Here is my empty Nature Bond. I'm just gonna hold the Nanobaby a little bit closer just so you can see. So here's my measurements. This right now was, I think it was like a little under 2 ounces, but I didn't really, it's hard to put it level. So again, Nanobaby. And now, let's see if you can figure out how to do this. And it probably still has this slow flow nipple on it, because like I said, we haven't used it in a while. Okay, you wanna try? She's like, I don't know what to do with this. No, don't shake it, it's not a milkshake. Here, put it in your mouth, here. Mommy, look, ooh. So I kind of regret doing this much because it's almost 2 ounces and she does not want to take it because it's been so long since she's used a bottle. And I should have recorded the video sooner. But obviously, time is not always something that you have on your hands when you're a mom. So I'm happy I was able to record it now.
Okay, so let's just talk about some of the things that I really love about the Nanobaby bottle. I love the design. I love that the bottles are shaped kind of like a breast, and the coolest thing about the bottles is that you can pump directly into them. Not only that, but with that little white cap that I showed you, before it fell right out of my hands, you can actually use that cap to close the bottle, and then guess what? You can stack the bottles. Oh my God, mind blown. So they have some really cool accessories. Their whole slogan is because nutrients matter. And you will see it on all of their products that you buy. It will explain how and all the benefits. Their breast milk storage bags are flat and they're actually shaped really cool. It helps them to thaw 2 times faster, but it also helps to preserve the nutrients. And I mean, that's kind of one of the benefits of breastfeeding, is that you have these extra nutrients and you don't want to lose that by, thawing too fast or overheating the milk. So then we have the Nanobaby warming bowl. It's really interesting, like literally all you do is just add warm water. That is it. You don't have to worry about finding an outlet or the milk being too hot or only partially heated. You just add the warm water, leave it, and it'll do the job for you. So of course you'll need a drying rack. I like their drying racks because they come apart. They have different heights so that you can wash and dry all of your baby accessories all at once. You can even adjust where you put them, which is pretty cool. It also has a little tray that separates for cleaning to inhibit bacteria from growing, which is extremely important. The last place that you want germs is on something that you've just cleaned, and especially not on something that will soon go into your baby's mouth. So that is just like a huge selling point for me right there. Then we have the cooler. Oh my gosh, this is one of my most favorite items from Nanobebe aside from the actual breast-like bottles. Look at the design. I don't know about you guys, but for my personal taste, this is so simple yet so satisfying to look at. I ended up only purchasing products from this company just because I was blown away at the quality of the products and the company's standards. Just a reminder that I am not affiliated at all with this company or any of the companies that I've mentioned in this video. All thoughts and opinions are my own, but the images were borrowed from Google Image Search. Thank you, Google Image Search. I will list them all in the description of this video to make them easier to find. That way you can research them yourself and find out if they might be right for you. For me, I absolutely love them. They were a huge hit in this house. Everything is very easy to clean. It's hard enough finding time for yourself after you have a baby. No one wants to spend all of their free time washing bottles and, washing all of the accessories and everything like that. So I'm really grateful that everything with this company is just really easy to use and really anti-germ. That was a major selling point for me, and I think that's part of the reason why I recommend it. That and the fact that I just love the whole design of them. I like the appearance, I like the colors, the gray in that cooler. I think that's what really gets it for me, the gray and the turquoise. Like it's so like calming, and I don't know, I think that just might be like my happy color that way. That's why I said it might just feel like a personal thing, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, I've got to get that. So that went right on my registry, and they got us the bottle, but we ended up getting the cooler ourselves. So 10 out of 10 recommend.
I will say, be careful at the beginning, especially. There's something called nipple confusion. I try not to give my kids pacifiers because once you form that habit of them wanting a pacifier, it's really hard to break. I've had friends with kids that they've had pacifiers until they were like 3 or 4 years old because they just could not break that habit. I have somehow, by some miracle, broken all of my kids from a pacifier by like 3 months. When she was first born, this one, Carmelina, when she was first born, we were giving her a pacifier, the little, I forget the name of them, but they're just like these little green silicone bendy gummy-like pacifiers. And we were giving that to her because she was using me as a pacifier, and usually I didn't care, but this was my first time having a vaginal birth and I really just wanted to rest. So my husband gave her this thing and he was like, should I give it to her? And I was like, no, do not do it. But at one point I became desperate and I caved and I let her have it. And she liked it so much that she decided that she only wanted the pacifier and now she was not going to breastfeed. We had no issues being discharged the next day. It's so much nicer having a vaginal birth since you get discharged like within 24 hours. They have to keep us for at least 24 hours because there's a test that they do at 24 hours. So it's really like 26 hours. But it's so nice going home the very next day. Whereas a C-section, I already know I'm packing for 2-day minimum, but up to 5 days. Because even with my daughter, I think we were there for like 4 days. So I always have to pack like we're going on a week vacation. But yeah, it was really hard getting her to breastfeed, and I tried using my finger to like get her to get used to something with like a skin feeling to it, but she would not break from that pacifier, and then we pretty much figured it out. So I was pumping and I was using the Haka to not lose my supply, and then I would pour it into this bottle that our friend gifted us for our baby shower. Thank you, by the way. When I poured into the bottle is shaped like a breast. I don't know that much about bottles because I didn't really use them that much. I think we probably used bottles more with my son. I don't think my daughter ever had a bottle. But my son only had bottles because I had a very scary life-changing incident that happened to me, and I was in ICU for a while, and I was more worried about being able to stay alive to be able to see my son and not really focused on breastfeeding, even though a lactation consultant did come to see me in ICU and did try to help me pump, but I was too weak and pretty much clinging to my life, so I had to basically choose my priorities there. So basically it's a bottle that looks like a boob, has a decent nipple. We were feeding her with that bottle, and then what we would do is we would feed her a little bit with that bottle and then switch to the breast, but she would just be screaming, crying. Like she did not want the breast, she only wanted the bottle. And I have 2 other kids that, thanks to the pandemic, they're in remote learning. They're learning online from home. It is so hard even with 1 kid, and now this past year I had 2 kids doing it and a newborn, and it's hard. So I was like, no, there's no way, I cannot pump, I cannot do it. If I'm pumping, it would just be to try to like help my supply along, or like an occasional thing, but no, I cannot be an exclusively pumping mama. No disrespect to those that do exclusively pump, it's actually the contrary. Mad kudos to you guys, because that is so hard and that is so demanding and time consuming, and people that exclusively pump in my mind are just superheroes. Like, you guys deserve an award. Breastfeeding is hard, but exclusively pumping is definitely higher than that. So eventually we figured out that we can try to put both nipples in her mouth at the same time, like my nipple and the nipple from the bottle, and then we would just kind of have her suckle on one and then try to switch it, or have her start suckling and then take the bottle out and it'll just be boob. It was a crazy process, but within a couple days of doing it like that, my husband and I were able to get her back nursing, and from then on out we were like, no pacifiers, throw them bad boys away. And the funniest thing is, when I was pregnant, we bought pacifiers that are breast-like, that are they're the Tommy Tippies nipple-like pacifiers, I think they're called, and they might have been like a nipple, but they were too good for her to put down. She did not want my nipples, she wanted Tommy Tippy's nipples, and that was a problem because I'm exclusively breastfeeding. So we basically just like kind of chucked them and we're like, no, and no more pacifiers, because we did not want to regress and have any more issues nursing.